Hello, welcome everyone to my physiology class. Today we are going to discuss the mechanism of action of the testosterone. Now to go previous class, to go for some recapitulation, we will see some points, important points on the chemistry, biosynthesis of the testosterone. So testosterone is a C19 steroid with a hydroxyl group at the position of the C17, and it is formed from the Leydig cells of the testis and from the precursor molecules like cholesterol, and also they are secreted from the adrenal cortex from the precursor molecule androstenedione. Now this Leydig cell doesn't contain 21 beta hydroxylase enzyme or 11 beta hydroxylase enzyme, which are normally found in the adrenal cortex, but this Leydig cell actually contains the 17 alpha hydroxylase enzyme. So let's see in a nutshell the biosynthesis pathway of the testosterone in the Leydig cell. So from the cholesterol molecule, by the action of the cholesterol desmolase enzyme, it forms pregnenolone, and by the action of the 3-beta hydroxysteroid dehydrogenase enzyme, they produce the progesterone. Now, both pregnenolone and the progesterone, by the action of the 17 alpha hydroxylase enzyme, produces 17 hydroxypregnenolone and the 17 hydroxyprogesterone respectively. So, pregnenolone to 17 hydroxypregnenolone, and from progesterone to 17 hydroxyprogesterone. The 17 hydroxypregnenolone also converts into 17 hydroxyprogesterone by the action of the 3-beta HSD enzyme. Now, by the action of the 1720 lyase enzyme, the 17 hydroxypregnenolone and 17 hydroxyprogesterone forms respectively dihydroxyepiandrosterone and androstenedione. From dihydroxyepiandrosterone, the androstenedione also forms by the action of the 3-beta HSD enzyme. Now from the androstenedione enzyme, we also know that testosterone is converted by the action of the 17-beta hydroxysteroid dehydrogenase enzyme, and from the testosterone by the action of the 5-alpha reductase enzyme 1 or 2, the most potent active form of the testosterone is formed. The name is dihydroxytestosterone. So the testosterone secretion is under the control of the LH or luteinizing hormone. Luteinizing hormone activates the Leydig cell by forming the CAMP or cyclic AMP via the G protein or stimulating G protein GS and GPCR, G protein coupled receptor. Actually, the CMP increases the cholesterol ester to cholesterol formation, and from cholesterol to the pregnenolone formation via the action of the protein kinase A. Now let's discuss the mechanism of action of the testosterone. The testosterone binds to the intracellular receptor, and the receptor steroid complex binds to DNA, where it activates the transcription of some genes. Now testosterone is converted to dihydroxytestosterone by the action of the 5-alpha reductase, and testosterone and dihydrotestosterone has the same action, same type of mechanism of action. So dihydroxytestosterone also attached to the intracellular receptor, and same like the testosterone, the receptor steroid complex activates the transcription of many genes. Now the circulating level of dihydroxytestosterone is only 10% of the normal testosterone level. Now the testosterone and the receptor complex is less stable and less conformational changing to DNA in respect of the dihydroxytestosterone with the receptor complex. So it's quite evident from this point that DHT is much more potent than the testosterone. Now the DHT formation is a way of amplifying the action of the testosterone in the target of the tissues. So as the DHT with the steroid the receptor complex is much more potent and much more stable, so the DHT actually amplifies the action of the testosterone in the target tissues or the peripheral tissues. Now, in respect of this enzyme 5-alpha reductase, which converts the testosterone to DHT, this 5-alpha reductase enzyme has two types, type 1 and the type 2. Type 1 is found in the skin and the sebaceous gland secretion throughout the body, and mainly it's a dominant enzyme in the scalp. But the type 2 is mainly found in the genital skin, prostate and other genital tissues. Now, in respect of this, some important question may be asked in respect to the actions of the testosterone and the DHT in different peripheral tissues of the target organs. Now let's discuss one by one the actions of the testosterone and the actions of the DHT. Now the testosterone, we already know the main important enzyme, or sorry, the hormone for the spermatogenesis. Now testosterone has some important actions. Number 1, Wolffian duct maturation. Not only the Wolffian duct maturation, testosterone also helps in the formation of the male internal genitalia like vas deferens and the epididymis. Number 1. Number 2, bone growth. Number 3 is a formation of male type of brain. Number 4, it increases the muscle mass. So it's quite evident where the males are much more muscular than the females. Number 5 is erythropoiesis. Number 6 is spermatogenesis. And number 7, it has some metabolic effects, like it increases VLDL, it increases LDL, but it decreases the high density lipoprotein or HDL, and they also, or the testosterone also deposit fat in adipose tissue in abdominal viscera. So these are in the nutshell the actions of the testosterone. So what are the actions of the dihydroxytestosterone? Dihydroxytestosterone has some important maturation process in males, like the growth of prostate. Number 2, the growth of penis. Number 3, the growth of scrotum. Number 4, temporal recession of hairline, and they also responsible for male taper baldness. Number 5, sebaceous gland activity. Number 6, somebody says, or some book tell that they have some increased muscle mass action like the testosterone. Number 7, male type of voice. And number 8, the growth of hair at face, chest, body, axilla and pubic region. So these are the important actions of DHT. So please remember, they may be asked as a short note, they may be asked in the viva. So don't forget or don't confuse in regarding the actions of the testosterone or DHT. Thank you.